Alright, Raider Nation, let's roll. I'm coming in fired up today because things are heating up in Las Vegas. Picture this. You've got an offense that looks promising, a defense still trying to find itself, and suddenly two bombs drop at the same time. One hits the offense, specifically the run game, and the other shakes the heart of the defense, the secondary. Sounds like a Hollywood script, but it's real, and it could completely change the direction of our season. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because this one's can't miss. There are things in here nobody saw coming. Let's start with the offense, which has been catching heavy criticism the past few weeks, especially on the ground. The guy in the crosshairs is rookie running back Ashton Janney, who came in with a ton of hype, but put up some scary numbers in his first 3 games. But here's the truth most people are missing. The problem isn't the kid. Janney is averaging just 3.1 yards per carry, which is ugly no matter how you look at it. But when you dig deeper, it gets wild. He actually has more yards after contact than he has rushing yards total. Yeah, you heard that right. According to ESPN, Janney has 144 yards on the season, but 145 of those came after contact. How's that even possible? Because the guy's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage almost every single time he touches the ball. Against the Commanders, for example, on 17 carries he got hit 11 times at or behind the line. Overall, 57% of his runs this year have ended that way. So if you're pointing fingers, it ain't the running back. It's the O-line that's blowing it. And that's not just fan talk. Pete Carroll himself admitted this unit has to get better, especially on the right side, where lineup changes just haven't worked. In Week 3, Alex Kappa got the nod at guard, but it was a disaster. The expectation is that in Week 4, rookie first-round pick Jackson Powers-Johnson finally gets his shot. He can't be worse than Kappa was, and that might be the first real good news for the run game. But reality is still tough. Other rookies Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers haven't even been active for a game yet. So there's no quick fix coming off the bench. The mission is to work with what we've got and pray the chemistry clicks. To be fair, when Janney does get some space, you see his vision, power, and burst. So the fan base needs to get this straight. The problem isn't him. If this line can give him even a little daylight, the kid could turn into a key weapon in this offense. Now, taking a breath and flipping it to the defense, there's pressure building there too. After a tough loss left some scars, an unexpected headline hit. Safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson was released by the Houston Texans. Nobody saw that coming, considering Houston paid a hefty price to bring him in. And of course, the rumors started flying right away. Could the Raiders jump in? Let's break it down. Gardner-Johnson is 27, a Super Bowl champ with the Eagles, always known as a physical, high-energy player who can make an impact in multiple spots in the secondary. But in Houston, it just didn't click. 3 games, no picks, no pass breakups, and some brutal communication breakdowns that gave up big plays. Coach D'Amico Ryan spelled it out. When you're giving up explosives, somebody blew the call. And guess who was in the middle of a lot of those? Exactly. Even so, for a team like the Raiders, still chasing defensive stability, he could be worth a look. We've seen flashes from young guys like Jacorian Bennett, but the secondary is still shaky. Eric Stokes is on a short contract. Q Blue Kelly still gets beat too often, and Darian Porter is a question mark. Bringing in a versatile, experienced safety could help settle things down. Gardner-Johnson can line up in the slot or deep, and he's got the kind of edge Pete Carroll loves. Sure, things ended badly in Houston, but how many times have we seen guys bounce back in Vegas when given a fresh start? That's where the hope lies. Imagine this defense, which has already shown glimpses of being solid, adding a guy with playoff chops and leadership potential. That's the type of move that can flip a whole unit. And you know how it goes. Once a name like that hits the market, the media swarms. Adam Schefter's already reported multiple teams are circling, and the Raiders are monitoring the situation closely. Doesn't mean it's a done deal, but just the fact the front office is even considering it shows they're aware the secondary needs help. And they should be, because the AFC is stacked with quarterbacks and high-powered offenses. There's no competing in this conference if you don't shore up the back end. Stepping back and looking at how it all ties together, you can see this Raiders season is being shaped by the little details. The offense is stuck because of the O-line, and the defense badly needs consistency. It almost feels contradictory. We've got talent, We got intriguing pieces, but the execution and coordination aren't there. Pete Carroll has even been upfront about giving rookies reps, but not rushing them since he thinks they're not ready yet. That's realistic, but also dangerous, because the NFL doesn't wait. While you're developing, other teams are capitalizing. If the front office doesn't get aggressive now, by the time these young guys are ready, it might already be too late. That's why a potential move for someone like Gardner Johnson could be critical. He won't fix everything, but he accelerates the process of making this defense legit. In Raider Nation, you can't help but think about the ripple effects. If the O-line keeps failing, Geno Smith's going to take way more heat than he should, and that could wreck the season. Ashton Janney needs room to prove his talent, or he risks being unfairly labeled a bust. On the other side, if the defense doesn't stabilize, we'll be haunted by the same old Vegas nightmares. Close games decided by one or two back-breaking big plays. It's tough to say, but that's where things stand. The good news? We're still early in the season. There's time to fix this. There's a market to add reinforcements. And there's still hope this work pays off in the coming weeks. Crazy how much has already gone down, right? Less than a month into the season, and we've got offensive drama, defensive rumors, and a coach trying to balance youth with experience. So I've got to throw it to you, Nation. What's your biggest concern right now? Is it the offense stalling with Janty and the line, or the defense still shaky in the secondary? Do you think the front office should strike now and bring in a vet, or let the young guys keep developing? Drop your take, because I want to hear from you. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because here you'll always stay plugged into everything happening in Las Vegas. Just win, baby.